Bismillah Rahman Rahim, viewers. This is Ibrar Mir on Venus TV with your favorite program, Sports Time. Viewers, cricket is called game of gentlemen. So we've got a few gentlemen here from Essex. I would like to introduce them first, and then our topic, according to our guest, is South Asian cricket clubs and county cricket boards. Our first guest, he is the development, basically he is the cricket operations Essex County Cricket Board. He is the head, and he's been to our program first time, not today. And we've been obliged and honored to have him here. He's such a gentleman. Dan Feist is here with us. Mr. Dan, we welcome you here in Sports Time.
Evening, welcome. Thank you for inviting us along.
You're welcome. And the next gentleman, he's been playing cricket around East London. They are two brothers, and they have got close association with Imran Khan, our great captain for Pakistan. Their dad, he's a very good friend of Imran Khan. He's been the captain of One Street Cricket Club, and he has developed a number of players. At the moment, he is the sports development officer and international with the UEL, and he is also serving as East London cricket coordinator with Essex County Board. And you must have known by now Arfan Akram. Arfan bhai, we welcome you here.
Bye-bye, thank you very much.
Welcome, sir. And the third one is a young all-rounder, upcoming, promising. He has played one first-class match last year against Hampshire. Now he's in the first squad with Essex County Cricket Club. Kishen Velani. Kishen, we welcome you here in Sports Time.
Thank you.
And Tame Mubaraki as well. Tame played first-class matches.
Yeah.
I don't know more. I know more Gujarati about. Okay. I'll request you to say a few words at the end. Our Gujarati and Asian, Indian youngsters, they'll get motivated, by seeing you here. As I said, our topic is yours, South Asian cricket clubs and county cricket boards. But before we start our topic, I would like to share very few news, because I would like to give most of the time to our guests. And in the second half, we'll open our phone lines to take your short and sweet questions. PCB, which is becoming more of a political cricket board. I have started saying this, and even I've been writing articles as well, because it's all politics going on around Moin Khan. He was kicked out. Now he's got two portfolios, chief selector as well as manager. And Zahir Abbas, he was sacked, and now he has become advisor to the chief PCB chairman. Anyway, it's only that mafia is going around here and there. They are changing their positions. We cannot talk about this today because our topic is different. And English County season has started already. County Division 1. I just like to share a few matches. Few I've missed. Anyway, Essex is top at the moment in Division 1. And in Division 2, Essex is number 2 at the moment, and they are going to play their third match on Sunday against Gloucestershire. IPL 5th session is already underway in UAE. Punjab Kings 11, they are on top with 3 matches. Dhoni's team Chennai, they have won today, but they have already lost 1 match. They are second, Bangalore, third, Kolkata Knight Riders, then Rajasthan, then Hyderabad, Delhi, but Mumbai Indian is winless at the moment. Local cricket, 7-a-side Bash Mares charity cricket tournament took place in Leighton County ground, and it was won by Leytonstone Lions, which is Sajid Patel's team. They beat EZ in the final on Saturday, the 19th of April. And Dark Horses, Prince, they've been up to the semi-final, but Cotti and Red Pack, they could not qualify for the semi-finals. Waltham Forest Mayor Nadeem Ali, he was the chief guest, and Dan Feist, he visited when this tournament was being played. Anyway, Dan, first of all, as our topic, we are really thankful to Essex and you guys. I've been since last year. I've been seeing you. You guys are everywhere. I don't know why it took so long for Essex to get involved in Asian grassroots level. I know Irfan, he's been doing a different job because he's got his own club as well, but we haven't seen anything about Greater London surrounding cricket county boards. They are not involved like Essex.
Yeah, I think it's been a challenge. It's been an exciting couple of years finding out and unearthing what's actually happening in East London. I've been with Essex now for 2 years, and it was greatly obvious, having a quick chat with Arfan one day, that we could do a lot more, and we could open ourselves up and provide an opportunity for a playing pathway to represent Essex and get onto international stage, hopefully, and county stage. But more importantly, just providing the opportunity and supporting that opportunity to play the great game that we love and are so passionate about.
When you say pathway or a sport or opportunity, what kind of financially grounds facilitate clubs, leagues? What kind of plan you've got?
There's support from the ECB and Sport England around supporting, engaging South Asian communities at the moment, but that has to be generically across the whole game as well. It's very important that it's seen as one pathway and support mechanism for that. There is opportunities around facilities, and I was at Leighton County Ground again today, and we're looking at putting in hopefully some practice nets facilities there.
Okay.
And we're also working closely with Newham Council around what's known as a pitch strategy for cricket, so we can actually identify the right sorts of facilities to go into the right place to give us the most sustainable opportunity in the long run for continuing the development and the growth of the game, which is undoubtedly in that area of East London and across the rest of London.
All right. And but since when you've been head of cricket operations?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
February 2012.
But I haven't seen you since last year. I mean, you were busy in some other area?
I think what we've tried to do is we've understood that we've had to find out and get great insight and information, and then from there we can hopefully build the trust and the respect and show that it's not just a flash in the pan, it's a serious thing that we're taking, and we want to support it in the right way. So it took time to actually understand where the picture was across Essex from me starting the job, and then realising it was the right time to actually let's really sort of go and support and help develop and build what was already a great infrastructure in place, and has already over years produced great players that have come through into Essex from that area. Okay. It's now making sure that opportunity is there for a longer time.
Right. I'll come back to you again with different questions. Arfan bhai, while I was there on trials, you were doing that trials for the South Asian Cricket League's team. It's good. I mean, people like you are involved, and you know the psyche of Asian players, and they are very comfortable with you. So what do you think that Essex is very much involved through forum, CCC or South Asian Cricket League forum or anything, Are we going to have a bridge within this Essex and then to ECB, or it will only be, up to Dan or you, or that's it?
I mean, first and most importantly, to reiterate Dan's word, it's an exciting venture.
Yes.
That's the most important thing. I think the key emphasis is a clear pathway. I mean, that's going to be the most important factor. So regardless of whether you're playing, for example, you've had guests such as Sajid Patel in the National Cricket League, or whether you're playing for a traditional cricket club like Wanstead Cricket Club, you should have the same opportunity as well as aspiration to go on and play professional cricket. And I think that's the area that Essex have highlighted via the ECB and Sport England. And it's very important to have that pathway and opportunity. And obviously this trial that you're talking about, which leads on to a game on the 5th of May against Essex Second 11, is exactly that template that we're all trying to work towards. And hopefully, I don't think Essex are too far away from finding that next superstar or that next professional cricketer, because the talent is immense. You just have to turn up any Sunday afternoon at any of the grounds, and you could take 2, 3, 4, 5 players, and it's just important for that person that there's a clear pathway for them.
All right. Okay, Kishen, you are in one way you are lucky that you had a platform like Wanstead Cricket Club, or in another way you are not lucky. But the other new players, they are having a platform like Arfan bhai was discussing now. But anyway, you are lucky enough that you've been up to England under 19, or you have played first class match as well. And what did you find when you started playing cricket through Wanstead, or your school level, or under 9, 10, whatever your first start? What did you find our Asian community, why they are reluctant to be in one club? Their parents, they move around. Oh, this club is not good. Go here, go here. But at least you stick to one club, and no, here you are. what do you say psychologically? What is lacking between the parents and the kids' communication, or it's the problem with the clubs and parents? What is that?
To be honest, I couldn't really tell you because I don't know.
Because you didn't face it.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I didn't really come across that sort of challenge for me.
Yeah.
Especially I've been playing for Wanstead all my life, so I never really came across the challenge of having to try and move clubs in order to play high level of cricket, because
Good.
it was always set out for me ever since I started
Yeah,
playing for
but
Wanstead.
you must have heard or must have witnessed other players. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes it could be a matter of impatience. I think is one thing, because I think that sometimes, especially for young players, you wanna be playing high level of cricket, so you get noticed by the county. So if you're playing a high level of cricket from a young age, the county are obviously going to pick that up, and then it's quicker then for you to obviously start getting noticed by the county and maybe even getting a professional contract. I think that may be the key thing, but for me, I think it's important to have that patience and sticking with your right club, because eventually, if you've got the talent, you're gonna go through the teams, start playing for the first team, you're gonna start doing well, and then you're gonna get noticed by the counties.
Okay, so as a youngsters, when you are around, or when Cook is around you, and Monty Penisar or Sajid, or any national, Graham Napier, Foster, people, players like that, when they are around you, what do you feel, any motivation or confidence, that you are with them, and then, okay, next step is your first class or maybe England?
Absolutely, I think it's a massive motivation to be in and around the dressing room, especially when we had our first game against Derby, I was doing 12th man that week, and it's key for me, because I take a lot from those situations and try to learn as much as I can from those guys, especially someone like Cook, who's England captain at the moment. I try to get as much out of him as I can. That's going to help me improve my game, especially if I end up playing well for Essex second team, I could be in the same team as some of those guys. So it's important for me to learn how they go about their business and what they've done in practice-wise, training-wise, what they've done so that they can perform at the top level in county cricket.
Okay, then this South Asian Cricket League forum made by CCC Club Cricket Conference. Before that, I just started 4 years ago this program, just with this dream that okay, we'll have to have some platform for our youth. Those who are on the streets, we can take them off the street and this and that. At least I can say no, that platform is provided by CCC, and plus you guys are you can supervise all those things. This CCC, what is their contribution with the Essex, and plus this Waltham Club? They've got very good side. They've been to all semi-finals, final, this and that. Then Salim Yassin, he's been serving with the community, I think 20 years or something. So those people or clubs or leagues, they did not have platform. So at least now you guys are in, and CCC is there. So what can you foresee our South Asian cricket leagues? Where are they heading up?
It's going back. It's exciting, and what we're really learning is we've now up to about 18 leagues across Essex on Saturdays, Sundays, and that's not including midweek leagues as well. And it's exciting because the leagues are starting to share ideas and work. And where that forum that you mentioned come up, and with the Club Cricket Conference with Golfraz, it's very much around us coming, certainly not telling, but coming to find information and work together and find out ideas and support mechanisms of actually how do we work together to develop what the community want as their exit route for cricket, whether that be a 10-over game with 4 stumps, which is really exciting and novel, to a traditional time game of cricket through your Premier League route like Wanstead can access. And actually, can we provide that opportunity across every day of the week and at the right times that suit people in shift work and sort of everything. So actually the opportunity is there. If I want to play cricket, there's the right product, the right environment for me to, one, succeed and enjoy it, which is the massy, get my social side as well, and then develop into a pathway if I want to take that route as well. And it's really key working with those leagues and organisations to actually, those people are playing already, and actually they have got a phenomenal setup and organisation and are coming up and really good way of talking to their players to find out what their players want, hence the four stump version that they play with the 10 overs. But actually what we're doing is using their contacts that they have in the community to get below that to actually make sure the next second, third, fourth generation are going to carry on with that passion that that generation have, and are going to carry on playing. So the East London area and Essex really stays as a hotbed for cricket, in terms of the passion, the opportunity, and the pathway for it.
Okay, at the moment, I have seen that you people are visiting, different leagues, different, events you are seeing. Okay, that's fine. But at one stage, maybe you'll have to have, at all of them at one platform. Okay, this is our plan, this is Essex plan, and that's how we are dealing with you. Do you have that kind of
yes,
thing?
Yes, and it goes back to a bit of time. Like it's taken a bit of time for us to come to open up our eyes, to realise that there's such an opportunity in the area. When you go back to why did it take a year or so, it's because we wanted to get the right people in place to make sure we could build up that trust and respect coming in, because there had been that long period of time of not perceived to be engaging. And we're fortunate that we have Arfan, we have Ratan as well. There's another guy, Ratish. We also have a very good female coach in Sabah who's helping us engage within the women's community throughout East London. And they're really helping us to actually provide and get the information and insight of what people want within the community, rather than coming in and saying, this is what we want you to play.
Okay, what's the role, CCC with Essex? Yeah. And then I'll come to the second question.
The role of CCC is working alongside us as supporting...
Because they are about to finish their, I think, 100 years,
yes.
Century.
Yes, so they provide a communication pathway and an opportunity to play representative cricket as well through the Club Cricket Conference team. But we're working very much with Golfraz around working together to go out and understand what are people looking to get from their cricket, and what are the barriers for that to happening, and how can we work together to make sure that they come down and actually we can provide that opportunity, whether that be on a Tuesday morning, a Friday night, a Saturday morning, a Saturday afternoon. I want to play time cricket, limited overs, tape ball. We've got all those, and what we're really trying to do as Essex, working with the CCC, is very much, can we bring the opportunity and the connections between all the projects and all the formats, so that actually there's a real clear, transparent pathway and opportunity, that if I start off in this version of cricket through schools, and we have one of the reasons we've employed Arfan through UEL is because actually education is such a strong part, and such an important part within any community and any society, that actually let's really make sure there's a pathway for playing, but actually there's a real clear pathway that if I go from school, whether that, we did some work last week as you came down with the CCA around the mosques and the faith schools, but actually if I'm into any school or any education pathway, as I move up that education pathway, there's an opportunity for me to play cricket. And Arfan's done a great job with his college league that he runs, and on the 11th of June we're doing a last man stands college competition. So actually really making sure that people are really aware that yes, I can stick to my education, I can stick to my cricket and go right through the system, and when I finish that I've got a clear pathway into the National Cricket League, the Elliot Davis League, the Snell League, the Essex County League, whichever league it might suit me best, there's that opportunity for me to play. Okay,
one more question then before I go to Arfan Bhai. There was a gentleman, Dave, from Metropolitan Sheffield or Leeds University on 19. Have you seen him? Okay. He was interviewing from ECB to know about why we South Asian or Asian are reluctant to be a coach or something. So do you have that kind of plans? This is what we have talked up to now is cricket or players.
Yeah, and it's
there are other technical staff, coaches and umpires and this and that. What plans have you got to give it?
And again, what's really interesting, because we've been so welcomed by the groups that we've been working with in East London, and because Arfan and Ratan have been able to engage those groups and the likes of Kishen as role models, the ECB and other organisations are now coming to us saying, well, how can we work with these to find out how we can engage people into not just playing.
But how did they realise after 35 years ECB? I mean,
well, I think they realised they could see the passion. The IPL has obviously helped and raised the profile. Yes. Everyone knows when India and Pakistan turn up over here. You only have to look at Edgbaston during the Champions Trophy or any competition. The numbers are there and the interest is there. And I think there's been a bit of understanding how do we work and engage with those groups, and that takes a little bit of time. And it has to make sure you've got the right people, and also on the back of that, you've actually got something that you can offer.
So you will be touching that category, umpires and coaches and other things.
It's really important. And one of the things we're working with Sajid with the NCL and Salim with the Elliot Davis, and now we've started negotiating with the English Tamil leagues and the British Tamil leagues, is around, right, this is great, you've got really good people organising and running these competitions. How do we get the next generation to come through and actually support that? And to do that, you might need to be a coach, you might need to get umpires. And With Arfan, unfortunately, with his connections, we're looking at running on-pass courses as well to actually support. But actually, look, what do you need within your playing cricket environment? And they're coming up saying we need coaching in this. And actually, we've got to make sure that the opportunity to become a coach and umpire is flexible as much as playing, to actually create that opportunity to get those people to do those roles.
Mr. Arfan Akram Saab, you are the sports development officer for UEL, and you are coordinator for East London cricket, or East London rather. But you were not there when we had more than 200 kids from mosque, and Mr. Dan was there.
I was in Holland.
You should have been there.
With the university cricket team.
Okay.
So unfortunately I couldn't make it. So I was heavily involved with the preparation of that, with obviously Sajid Bhai and Maulana Khalil, putting it all together, and it was fantastic. As you said, 200 people read the follow-up articles and followed it very closely on social media. But unfortunately, I was in Holland with the university cricket team on our pre-season tour.
Okay, since you,
I think it's clear to see we've got a team now in East London, so it's not. Yes, it's great having Arfan, but we've also got Rattan, and Rattan was actually that event comes more under Rattan's role, because I've employed him to look at doing the mosques and the faith schools and engaging the communities of that younger age group. Arfan specifically looking more around the colleges and that 18 plus, how do we engage them into adult formats, whereas Rattan's working very much, as you saw on that West Ham Park, around engaging them. And actually what's developing from that, which is really exciting, and we had a meeting the other week, is that the possibility of developing a new club, which is going to be Stratford Cricket Club, which will be there for the community to access more opportunities, creating opportunities. So in a borough as big as Newham, we'll have two, and that's where it's really key that whoever's at the events and the meetings, there's a clear crossover and a communication and pathway to create that opportunity over a lasting period.
Okay, let me put another question, because I wanted to ask Irfan Bhai, but here you mentioned Stratford Club or anything you want to make. But when Essex or any organization, they are ready to facilitate by any means pitches or financially, money wise or anything, then other clubs, they'll be looking at them. It has to be justified. How would you dealing with that?
And that's why we're making sure that we have the forum. So we have the South Asian League Forum, but we've also, through Arfan set up and Rattan, set up an East London Development Group. So we have all the key people from colleges, councils, to councillors, to all involved in actually, let's make sure that, I was talking to Mike Gatting the other day, because he was asking me about, he's been invited to meet the Mayor of Newham, which is really exciting around getting the development and potential. I seriously think with the opportunities we have now and the awareness and the energy and the drive to really make it succeed, this is probably our one big chance to make it work and be sustainable and carry on this game as we move forward. We use a bit of a strapline that we're using with a group called V2020, and Kishen sitting on that group with some youngsters. We've got some 14 to 26-year-olds saying, well, what will cricket look like in 2020? And how do we make sure that people still want to play the game in 2020? And what do we need to do that? So sometimes some of these things take a little bit of time to get right. Because actually what we want to do is not just come in and say, right, we think you should be doing this and play this. What we want to do is speak to the communities, get out to the organisations, to as wide variety, from education to the mosques, to the faith schools, to the community groups, and say, how do you want cricket to look in this area, and how do we support you to make sure that happens?
Agree. Any plan, it has to be result oriented accordingly, and slowly but gradually. Okay, Mr. Arfan, while this post, this is giving you a different sort of experience. Why? Psychologically, you are in touch with students. Okay, upper level, but at least student psychology you will understand. Plus, South Asian as well, East London as well. So you are at the very focal point. You must have dealt, the question I asked with Kishen, you must have faced or dealt or that kind of questions. Parents they are not happy. They think that they're sometimes they are at the wrong end. They think that their son is big player and this and that, but somehow their complaints are valuable.
I think a couple of very important factors. Obviously, you use the synergy with University of East London, and obviously working with the South Asian community. The synergy being we've got 28,000 students. Over 70% of those students come from the local area. It's one of the most positive, unique selling points. And you go to Newham yourself, from East Ham down to Redbridge, there's a high proportion of South Asian students as such. So yes, absolutely. Working with the local community, from my role with the university and the role with Essex. Also, the synergy between Wanstead Cricket Club, a club which historically has done relatively well, successfully both on the cricket pitch, but more importantly is all the hard work from a community basis that happens off the cricket pitch. You know, we're in the middle of doing our development plan, but it's no hidden fact that nearly 60% or so of our membership are from a South Asian community, and actually they face the same challenges. You talk to parents on a daily basis. They have aspirations for their children. They want them to be professional cricketers and hopefully follow Kishen's footsteps. So for me personally, it's actually no different.
Kishen is one example. Any other example from
Wanstead? Many. You know, we've had a lad recently, Aaron Nijar, who's actually gone to use the example about joining another club. Fantastic talent, left arm spinner. He's on the academy at Essex. He's now with Ilford. Rehan Hassan, who's now actually up in Derbyshire playing his cricket down there. Look, the list is endless. Maurice Chambers, I know he's from a Jamaican background. He's now playing at Northants. James Foster's one of our youngsters. Tony Palladino. So the list is endless. We've had a good.
Okay, I'll have to take a break, and viewers. When we come back from the break, we'll take your short and sweet questions, and we talk with Kishen as well. He must be, you know, itching to play another first class this season because he's in the #1 team, Essex. So with your short and sweet calls, we come back after the break. Take a break.